So I'm getting ready to start the install here with the MrCool unit. This is going to go in the bay down below. So I'm going to go over there and show you in just a second where that's going to go. We're going to remove the generator to put this where the generator currently is. 12,000 BTU. It also has a heat pump on it. So I'm taking out this generator because this bay door is already vented. I'll pull this stuff out that was just there because we had some issues with rainwater on that. I no longer need a 6.5 kilowatt generator because of the massive amount of solar that we have. I can get by with just a tiny little Honda generator that could sit in here if I need to. So that generator can come out, that 30-gallon fuel tank can come out. I have plenty of room to do what I need to do in here. So that'll be step one, removing the Onan generator. The MrCool tool bag with some of the tools that are needed for the installation. That's pretty neat. Mostly just crescent wrenches, but the thermostat's pretty cool. It works with Alexa, which we have in the bus, so that's going to be nice. Also works with Google Assistant, I see. And there's a Bluetooth app for it, or a wireless app, stuff like that too. So pretty cool. Even came with a 3-inch hole saw to be able to drill. Definitely has everything you need. Starting to get everything test fit. I'm going to move it forward a little bit more so that it's closer to the front, but it's actually going to have a really good way to pull air in and out of there. So obviously the front is all great. That plastic stuff will all come off of there. But there's holes down on the bottom there too. So anything that's pushing in is going to push the heat out of there as well. And then there's a lot more square footage of vent than there is. So I think we should be good there. But if it's in there nice, I measured before we bought it, made sure that it was going to work. I got about an extra 3 inches of clearance on the top still. I don't have the rubber feet on or the mounting yet, but I might have to move it an inch or two one way or the other to get the feet to mount in the right positions. But again, I'm going to bring it forward so that it's closer to the exterior airflow here, and then it gives it more room to push air out those other holes in the bottom. So the first thing we're doing is mounting the bracket for the inside unit, the air handler, and that's going to go here. And we're running, because we're doing it on the inside, we're going to have the hoses come right down between a couch and a table here, so they'll be out of the way between us getting, hitting on anything. Otherwise, our other option was the end of a desk, and we don't want it over there. So we're mounting this to the wall. We're using, it's in plywood, so we're actually using mollies or wall anchors to hold it as well, so it's extra secure, not just threads in there. Okay, so we have it mounted on the wall. It's real easy. The top just hooks on and then it just snaps into place there. And these are going to get covered as they come down, and that's going to go down under the table there. So we have such a curved roof, there's no way to really make it totally flat. So we went as close to the, ideally, I could go a foot higher, but then it would be laying flat on its face. So, and you hit your head on it. So in this really curved roof bus, you don't have a whole lot of options, but it is secured to the wall and it's not going to come off. So I drilled through the floor there where we're going to have our access going through. I pushed the drain hose on really tight there. That's good. I'm just now hooking up these and removed the little caps, going finger tight, made sure everything was straight and not cross-threaded or anything. And then just use the wrenches. To tighten. bend them without kinking them. Kind of in a tight spot here. The only thing that I'm worried about with the angle on that is the drain in there. So depending on how it collects the water, if the drain is tipped to the backside, then it may collect a lot of water in there, or it may overfill the front of it. Or maybe if I hit the brakes going down the road, the water might slosh out. So worst case scenario, I just have to take it off and build a bracket to bring it out, swing it out into the bus. But I'm just gonna see how it goes. I think it'll be okay, but if not, that's the only potential problem that I see is the condensation drain in there. If it has like a tray that it goes in, it might not come out very well until it gets to a certain level. I'm getting it cleaned out in there and everything kind of moved around to where it needs to go. I'm gonna leave it about that close to the wall. The end of this bay is not vented, the door, so only part of it is. So I wanted to make sure that it's a few inches in before that starts. Plus that'll give me access if I need to get to anything, the electrical hookups or any of that on the ends over here. I'll have the room to do it. There'll be room behind the unit to actually store the spooled up lines, because you can't, those come pre to a certain length, so you have to deal with the length on them. Not a big deal, there's plenty of room back there for it. And I'll have a ton of extra space left over in the bays there because the fuel tank and generator that I removed. And then I'm gonna put a Honda generator, a small Honda generator is gonna sit right in there next to it. And then I may add like another radiator fan in there to pull air through there, an electric radiator fan. So we're doing good. It's coming along nice. So the wiring diagram is easy here. So these are the wires that came off the indoor unit here, and they just go to where they say to there. And then on your 115 volt in, 110 in, 120 in, whatever it is, you just have your hot, neutral, and your ground. So it's real simple to hook this up electrically. I just tighten down the connections here, real simple. And then in a minute, I'm going to take off these caps and open up the inside there to pressurize them, and you're going to test them for leaks with soap bubbles, which I'm not ready to do that right now, but you have to make sure you open those back up before you start the unit or you'll void your warranty. So it's very important, you got to get the refrigerant lines charged. So that was easy. The wires were numbered 1, 2, 3, and then green. So that part's easy. Okay, I've sprayed them down with soapy water, so in case it does leak when I go to open this valve, I'll be able to try to tighten it some more. So it's on. It's blowing very cold air. I can get it. Super quiet. And the power that it's pulling right now is about 900 watts, 800 to 900 watts. That's all it's pulling, and is blowing super cold air. Very efficient. We'll see how well it cools down inside of here, but I can tell you right now that I already feel cooler than when the rooftop air is on.
Yeah, and it's like 80 degrees out right now.
Yeah.
And humid.
Well, it's a cloudy day today. We're only getting 600 watts from the solar right now, which is 22 amps. But the good thing is that I'm running my air conditioner. Come on. Our batteries are at 72%, and I'm only drawing 18 amps out of the batteries, which means I can run that air conditioner for 16 hours right now with even that low solar amount. So if it gets a little bit brighter, we'll be in the positive with this thing. We'll be able to, on even mildly sunny days, partly cloudy days, be able to run the air conditioner without going negative on our batteries. Very energy efficient. I can't believe how quiet it is. I do need to bolt it down still. I just making sure I had it in a good spot. Make sure the door closes and everything, and we're gonna drill some holes through there. I need to get some washers that I didn't have, so can't believe how quiet it is. I did have a problem with the drain that was on it. It was leaking from the corner instead of coming down the drain tube, so I do need to change my rear mount and bring this out. It is now going, I pulled it out about 4 inches. I actually stuck that box back behind it for right now. I'm not gonna drive with it like that, it'll fall off the wall. But I'm trying to see if it would actually, and the water is going down the drain now and it's not leaking out of it. So I just need to change the mounting bracket, but I'll be good to go once I do that. Okay, so I can control the temperature with this keypad here. I can do it through my phone with an app, or I can simply just say, Alexa, set mini split to 69 degrees.
The AC is set to 69.
That's pretty neat, huh? It's all set up. Everything's got connectivity. I can connect to it over the internet, not even being on the bus, and make changes too. So if we're away and I want to come back, I can turn the air on, an hour before we get here or something like that. Okay, so the mini split is running right now, and you can see again that we're pulling about 700 watts. There's very little solar. This is late in the day now. 155 watts of solar coming in, which is about 5.8 amps. That's been real consistent here over the last 20-30 minutes, so that's not really going to change. So let me go back to this. So that's the mini split air conditioner running, and it's in the cool mode, and it's blowing cold air. The compressor is running. It's super quiet. You can't really hear it. We're going to go ahead and turn it off now. So the little bit of draw that you see on there is like our refrigerator or microwave, and that microwave's not running, but the lights are on and that kind of stuff. Some LED lights are on in the bus. So there's a little bit of draw coming out of the batteries right now. Go ahead and turn on the rooftop air. Go ahead and turn it off. And go ahead and turn the mini split back on. It may take a minute to actually come on. And now it's starting to kick in. There's definitely no big surge to it. I don't know if you can tell how much quieter it is. I'm equal distance between the two, so it's much, much quieter. And that's about where it maxes out at. There's the box of it. It's got the model number on it there for you if that helps. I absolutely love it. Took about 5 hours to install. I did it over 2 days. I did a couple hours last night and then finished up this morning before lunchtime. Super easy to install. All the amazing features. I can turn it on remotely, not even being here. I can turn it on just by talking in the bus with Alexa, or you can do it with the app, just laying in bed, whatever, just through the internet or through the app. It's amazing. The amount of power that it uses is so much more energy efficient, so much less power draw. For us with our solar and our drawing off our batteries, we're going to be able to run this on sunny days and still put bank energy back into the batteries and run it. That was our dream and our goal, to do that. So now we can do that. We can run it all night long, run it during the day when the sun comes up in the morning, charge everything back up. We have 2,000 watts of solar right now, but we're going to add another more than 2,000 watts to the bus. And then there's no question whatsoever, even on cloudy, hazy days, I'll be able to run this and still bank energy back to the batteries. Super quiet, super energy efficient. There's no big startup load when it turns on. It's an amazing unit. I love it. It's MrCool. A lot of people use them on RVs, so I'm not the first one to do this. Hasn't been any issue with it bouncing and vibrating down the road. I just think it's a great unit. We're gonna be real happy with it.
See him loading up his tools, check the air and all those duels. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Well, he's got a long, hard ride in that pre-war silver sides. Get that bus grease monkey on the road. Well, he's got that hammer down in that 47 Hound. It's that bus grease monkey on the road. He travels all around and he's coming to your town. Get that bus grease monkey down the road. See that 4104 with the propped up engine door. Watch that bus grease monkey do his thing. 30 years behind that barn, 'cause it don't run worth a darn. Watch that bus grease monkey make it sing. He knows in Detroit there's no doubt, upside down and inside out. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in that old blue silver sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Get that bus grease monkey down the road. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know?